Welcome to another one of our Facebook Live interviews. Of course, I'm Bolger-Harris, and you are in the Creative Spiritual Biz Life Success Facebook group. So I'm going to be interviewing today, just adjusting my camera there, Alana Jones, and I'm really excited to speak with Alana about her business and about maybe some productivity tips that she's got that she's found have worked for her, and also about what creative and spiritual might mean for her and her business. So Alana, if you are there, can you comment and then I'll be able to add you on and we can start this Facebook Live. That'd be great. Let me know that you're here and then I can add you. So I'll keep chatting until I see you in the group, or what comes up is a notification. So I'm here. Okay. So that's all right. What I will do is, thank you, darling. It says I don't have any viewers yet, so I can't add you. So let's just see what we can do. Share broadcast. I will just see if I can get, there we are, invite. It's so funny, sometimes it comes up automatically that somebody's there, the person I'm wanting to interview. I've sent you an invite. Yeah, this time I had to do that manually, and I'm hoping that means that you've got it and you are able to come on. So we'll just see how that goes. If worst comes to worst, we'll stop it and then we'll restart it again and see how we go. This is the mysteries of Facebook. I find this is an interesting process each time that I actually go to do a Facebook Live. So Alana, let me know if you've actually received the invite. Hopefully you've got that. And then hopefully then we can rock and roll, as they say. So let me know when you get that. You can do that in Facebook Messenger like you just did then. Alana Jones is watching. Bring them on camera. Awesome. Okay, we are cooking. All right. I'm adding you. It's great. It's always exciting when I see that. So, that notification. It's like, it's worked. One day I'll be able to do it and it'll just flow magically. I look forward to that day. So we are bringing Alana on in just a second, which is really exciting. Looking forward to speaking with her. There she is. Hello, darling. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure can. Yep.
Oh, awesome. That's great. We might have a little bit of time delay, but we'll work through it anyway. That'll be fine. And that's great. We're actually both in landscape mode as well. Sometimes I find that doesn't work. So we are all right to go. So that's great. Thank you so much for coming on, Alana, for allowing me to interview you. I'm really excited because you seem to be a lady with a lot of wealth of knowledge about areas that are really relevant to us as women in business in terms of managing, hi Francis, lovely to see you, in terms of managing a family. And I know you've got a new addition. I'm going to ask you a little bit about how you juggle that, and then of course your knowledge specifically with your business. I'm thinking digital media strategist, but I think you're actually a lot more than that. So perhaps if you don't mind, can we ask to begin with, can you tell us a little bit about your business and maybe how did you get to where you are? Because you're so young.
So my business exposure, so we help businesses increase their online presence. We do help them with their social media strategy, but we usually combine it with their website and making sure that everything's in alignment together, because there's no point. Sometimes I find one of the biggest mistakes people make is they have a disjoint between even the language that's used on their website and then their social media platforms, and then it can create distrust with people that are even looking to do business with you. So it's making sure everything's congruent and the clear message is shown through the purpose entirely as well, so they get to know and trust you as a business and what you stand for, specifically what you're uniquely known for as well.
Yeah, that's just so important, isn't it, to get that congruency, that sameness, so to speak. And oh my goodness, after this, I need to go and check with my website and my social media language as well, because
Yeah.
there's got to be that consistent voice. It's something I don't know that, do you find that there's a number of people that actually, that there isn't that consistency and they need to do some
Yeah.
work on it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
especially
okay.
small
So,
business owners. It's common. It is. And a lot of it comes down to, I find, if there's massive disjoint, it's often they're still a little bit uncertain with exactly the core foundations of their strategy are not right. So because once you've got your clear target audience and you know exactly how you stand out and how you want to position yourself and the funnel that you're going to be using to add value, it's everything is in alignment because you know what you've got set up. That makes sense. So it's a lot.
mhm.
Usually people set up properly, it's congruent, but when there's a little bit of uncertainty or the business owner's not quite sure, they're testing things out, so, or some of them they just haven't thought about it because if you're not in the industry, sometimes there's things that you're better at elsewhere. Yeah, so mostly it
Yeah.
is pretty common.
Okay, okay. So, wow. So you sort of work between sort of the junction of the social media strategy, the website, and was there another area that I might have missed that you focus on as well in your
Yeah,
business?
we do offer branding, but we mainly have people that do that for us. We've got people that we refer to for those services that will work with
Okay.
our clients. Most of our business owners are more established, so if they do get design work, it's creating their own, working with their existing logos. We do have logo design as possible, but most of our clients and prospects are more established. So it's just refining and
Hmm.
working on what they already have. In some cases, rebuilding it or changing it as required. So
Hmm.
yeah, we
Hmm.
can offer photography, videography, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, wow. And just so I've got it clear, and perhaps people who are watching this, what do you class as an established business? Is there actually some sort of criteria? And I don't mean it needs to be exact, but
Um,
just because I've started, does that mean I'm established?
for me, it's more about business owners that are keen to work on it, their own business. Like we won't work on businesses where they just want to hand over and they want nothing to do with it and they don't really care.
Hmm.
And also we will work with startups, but they have to be certain on, or we help them to work out where they're certain on where they're going. There has to be progression. We don't want to be stagnant because you can't be in the marketing world. So it's really
Mm.
working out where they're at in terms of are they set on what they want and where they want to go, or do they need a bit more work with that? We can help with that too, the mindset side and the strategy, working out the
Mm.
target audience. And like some business owners come to us
Ah.
and they're established, but they just have no idea it's not working what they're currently doing. So we can help with that, but it's more about they've got to actually want to get to the next level and work with people to do that. Because the reason we won't just take over people's social media management without them being involved is you really can't create someone else's business. You can have the
Yeah.
strategies in place, but every business owner is unique, and I don't know how they want to project it from the core. So they need to be able to work with us to give us
Mm.
exactly what they want to be known as and how, and then we help them build on it and expand it.
Oh, that's great. That's so important, isn't it, for that clarity? So either they've got the clarity, but they need a bit more assistance, or to take it to the next level, or you can actually help them with that, as you said,
Yeah.
defining their target audience more and that sort of thing. Oh, that's excellent. That's really
Websites is
good.
probably
And
not
when
as
you,
websites as well. We can do like startups that need a website. Websites is a bit different, but social media wise, and it's also with businesses. The other criteria we like to make sure everything's set up properly. So I've had clients that have wanted to come on board and they've said, "Can you just run an ad for me and just run ads?" And I've said no because their
Mhm.
website needs work, and I've said to them, "You're going to be paying me money for ads that." The reach will be affected because if you're sending traffic to a site that's not right, it is going to be affected. So I said to them, it's actually not in your best interest, to get the website fixed first. And some of them have had contracts already externally, so they've gone and got the website fixed and then come back. So yeah,
Oh,
really
okay.
it needs to be everything together to make it work properly as well.
So So it's a bigger system, overall system, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
In terms of all these interconnecting parts that they've got to communicate with each other. I just want to say hi to Bonetta. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And awesome. And please, any questions you guys have got for Alana? Any comments? Just obviously put them in the comments below. That'd be awesome. So so with regards to a website, then, when you said they might need to get it fixed, or if the website isn't right, inverted commas, for Facebook ads to be directing to, what perhaps if you were able to, what are some key, even just a few key things that a website should have to support that system?
Yeah, so with websites, it's really important that they need to be optimized properly. So the page speed needs to be good. As of July, they all need to have an SSL, which is a security certificate, or Google's not going to rank them all. They need to be mobile responsive, because now Google ranks that first over desktop. So there's a few people that have been caught out with that because they got their website built years ago and it's not mobile responsive. It should be, once you're on the website as well, it should be pretty clear what you do. I see probably the biggest issue I see with websites is they'll try and put everything on there. So when you look at it, it's just confusing and you don't know exactly what they do or where to start. So it's sort of being clear on what you do and adding value. The other issue that we see is a lot of people will just try and flat out promote themselves. So once people get onto the page, they just don't connect with it. So they're not likely to engage. With our sites that we build, we look at the whole thing, and also analytics. We use analytics so that the keywords can be monitored. SEO is pretty important as well. And just adding value consistently.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, thank you. I've got to ask then, in case anyone watching is wondering, what is an SSL certificate? And if we don't have one, how do we get one?
Yeah, so it's a security certificate associated with the website. So essentially it means that if you don't have one, if people enter details into your website, they are at risk of being compromised and hacked. So an SSL certificate just helps protect that information. Obviously, it still is a risk that it could be hacked. It doesn't mean it's 100% safe, but Google's trying to implement, increase the safety aspect. So you can get them usually through your domain company. That's usually where you'll get it from. So whether that's the most common ones are usually Crazy Domains or GoDaddy, or Venture IP is a very good Australian one. That's who we use for ours. But yeah, so really you can contact them and they will show you the different options. Usually you can look it up on the website too. It'll have the plans and the prices that are included. I think the average is about 120 per year for it. But yeah, it's really important to make sure as a supplier that you've got it, because otherwise, Google will not view it favourably, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wow, thank you, Alana. Francis is saying I'll have to check if I have that SSL. And I agree, Francis, I'm in the same boat. I'm thinking, have I got one or not? And Bonetta's asking, she's saying ballpark price. And did you say roughly about 120 a year, Alana?
Yeah, roughly, depending on who you're with and what level you choose, depending on what information you collect, it can go up from there.
Okay, right. So it's something extra, like in time, will that just be part of, hi Joy, thanks for joining us, become part of the domain companies, what they do as part of the website hosting, do you think?
It should be. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it changes. They should be making people aware, definitely.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's something I'm going to definitely check on after this. So that's great, thank you. So when you say we, is your business, you work with your partner, you run with your partner, is that right?
Yes.
Or do you have somebody
else? I run
else
it with my partner, who's also my business partner. So we do it together. So I do the social media side, he does the web design side of the business.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how we run it. We've also got staff, so like people that work with us on different aspects of it. So depending on what's required as well. We've got an SEO lady who's got all of her Google certifications, very good with SEO. So we kind of have our specific functions so we can stay on top of it and then make sure that we're giving people the best possible assistance that they need.
That's great. So can I be cheeky and ask you, how do you live with your partner and work with your partner? Is it helpful because you've got different areas of the business that you both focus on that are separate areas, even though they're part of the bigger whole? Is that part of it? Have you got
Yeah,
any tips for those of us that
yeah,
are doing that?
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a bit of a, I mean, he works in IT sales as well, so he does both. So we're not around each other all the time. I think that's the key thing. With the business, we're on the same page, so there's not really an issue with that. That's not too tough. It's more just, yeah, I think you just work out your key areas. I think if you were working in the same space, it would be pretty hard, and you'd probably learn
Yeah,
a bit about each other pretty quickly. But yeah, I
yeah.
think having
Are
separate
you meaning,
areas is
sorry,
better.
sorry, I cut you off. Are you meaning the same physical space when you say that?
I think and even the same topics, like it's good because, see, even when we're chatting about the business, because we've got different areas, you're sort of learning about different things. So it's not,
Mm.
um, yeah, you're not always overlapping each other and you can grow in different areas, which is really important as well. Then you can help each other with the areas.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So it obviously literally is a true team. Hi, Kerry. Lovely to see you. Yeah. Well, any questions that anyone's got around, I suppose, marketing generally, Alana, specifically
Yep,
social media, but also website related, and
yep.
maybe even branding. They were the three main areas of your business, weren't they, that you were mentioning?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Social media,
That's
all this,
great.
just bear
Oh,
with
yeah,
me.
sure.
Going
Oh,
for a
yeah. No, no,
walk because
no.
it's a
That's
bit
fine.
noisy where I am.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because the other thing I wanted to, so thank you. That's helpful with what you said about uh,
Yeah,
running
that's
your
all.
business with your partner, and then obviously being
Yep.
living with your partner as well. And where does that sort of space, that in a relationship needs to be at
Yep.
least some, but also where you need to, of course, be coming together as well. So thank you. That was great. And then the next question, of course, that leads on from that is you
Yep.
have three young kids and a
Yes.
baby who he must only be about, am I right, about 3 months old or something?
He's just 8 weeks, 2 months
Oh,
old.
2 months old. Wow. So
Yeah, he's
how do
big though.
you
He's big.
Oh, fair enough. So tell us, how do you manage all of that? So you've got a business that obviously sounds like it's pretty full on, like most of our businesses are,
Yeah.
and you've got these three young kids and especially a baby. In terms of, I'm thinking now in terms of productivity and getting onto that side of things, how do you manage all those things?
One of the first things I had to do when I found out about the little one was go through my systems. I had to change the whole lot pretty much to make it a
Oh.
lot more efficient and a lot more, not automated, but just everything has its clear flow now. But generally, my day typically I'll do so the school hours, so I'll work like 9 till 3 in between the little one. But the little one's pretty easy at the moment, and then I'll do about 7 till midnight. So I just break it up in two chunks in the
Mm.
day. But it actually works really
Okay.
well because I find because there's that break in the middle, I actually find it more productive than doing a full day all at once, and I'm enjoying it a lot more as well. But obviously,
Oh.
yeah, it just means that I don't like social life is gone for the moment. But that's all good. I don't it doesn't bother me.
What was that? Sorry, what was that last bit? I missed that.
It's good because the social life is gone for the moment, and I don't get much spare time.
Yeah,
But I enjoy what I do, so it doesn't really I don't care really, actually.
yeah. And I think
Yeah.
I think for I think this happens for all of us in business, that there are different focuses at different times that have to be the higher priorities. And I sort of see it as being like sort of some gentle waves, rippling waves, and
Yeah.
some parts will have more need more of your attention at the moment. As you're saying, it's your business and it's your family, and then it won't be however long, and then hi Nessa, lovely to see you, and then you'll be able to have more of a focus, and that's that flow, that concept of flow, and also, as you said, having the systems in place that allows that flow. So how much of a change was it then? And when you said you had to change your systems, so that you could accommodate then obviously another little one.
Yeah.
What was it before? And I'm trying to get a sense of the concept of the change.
Yeah, so before, because I was doing too much myself essentially in the beginning. So I had to learn to automate parts of it. And also I had to, like, for instance, with my social, I've never wanted to outsource that. I want to make sure that I'm the one that's connecting with people and doing that. So there's other parts of the business that I've got to get people to do to be able to do that. So it's kind of learning which key areas you want to focus on, and then working from there, because it sort of ties in with the core functions of the business. And so with ours, mine is mainly helping business owners. We help, some we manage, but others we help them run their own social. So if I'm helping them run their own social and I had someone else running mine, to me that's not authentic, and I don't like it. So having that authenticity meant that there's certain parts that I make sure I do, and then that way when I'm making recommendations to clients, I know what's possible and I know what works because I've done it myself.
Yeah, thank you. That's really great.
One of the issues that I see in the social space, especially, is there's a lot of people that are saying to business owners, "Oh, just do it all," just, and the recommendations they're making are, work for them because they've got full-time staff. Like some of the recommendations that I see where they're saying post multiple times a day, they've got a full-time design person just designing their images. And then they've got copywriters, and then they've got all these other people, and it's just not, what they're suggesting is not feasible for the everyday business owner. So I think it's really knowing specifically what you can do and finding those people you can work with that will know what will actually work for where you're at, not just what works for them.
Oh, that's really good advice there. So whoever we're working with, if we're working with somebody else, we need to be clear, first of all, I think, with what we're wanting, or at least have a sense of it, and maybe whoever we're working with can help us refine that more. But essentially, they need to know a fair bit about where we're coming from and the focus of our business, so that, as you said, it still is authentic. And if we're, like you said, I suppose that also includes the number of times, as you were mentioning, the numbers of times a day posting and where to post and all that sort of thing. Is that part of it?
Yeah. And even with the overall strategy, like if there's too much, it's not feasible, it won't work. And I mean, with our clients, we generally work with a few platforms and doing them properly rather than having 10 that aren't done properly, because you're not going to get any traction these days if you're not doing things properly, because it is so busy and it is such a big market. So it's really making sure that things are set up properly, which is really important.
So we can't be on every social media platform. Is that what you're saying? Or we shouldn't be?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm only on 3, and I don't find that it's necessary to be on everything. Knowing your target's really important, because often 2 will be enough depending on the industry, if not 3. It's really, it really is knowing whether whether you're service or product based, and then who your target is and where they hang out, because we know that the ages on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram are all really different. For example, so it's just working out where your audience is likely to sit, and then the best way to optimize that.
So if you were doing my social media strategy or working with me on that, would you, if I really wasn't so sure, you'd be able to direct me to sort of hone in a bit more and okay, that's part of what you do. That's great. So that's really, it's actually really pleasing to hear you say that we don't have to be everywhere all the time, because that, well, first of all, feels exhausting and can be overwhelming. So be really, for us to be clear, and possibly that might require some help with somebody such as yourself, but becoming clear and honing in on the platforms that are relevant to our target audience. And I suppose that we also like to engage on as well.
That's actually a really important point, because a lot of people just think that social is just jump on and promote yourself, and it's not. If you're not connecting with people, the best way to achieve success on social media really is add value consistently and make sure you're actually building connections, not just thinking that you can put up an ad and that's it, walk away and it's done. Because it really isn't how it works.
Wow, yeah, thank you. Francis is saying, thank God. I think that was in relation to the fact we don't have to be everywhere all the time on social media. I think, I don't know, I can speak for myself that, yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I should be here, I should be there. It is, it's actually, yeah, I can feel myself. It's like, oh, yes, that's so good. As you said, Francis, thank God. And Bonetta made the comment before about when we were talking about you finding that when your little boy was born, that you had to look at automating and also the delegation. And
Yep.
so it sounds like you actually do delegate aspects of your business. Are they with people who have an expertise in those particular areas, like you're talking about the branding and the photography? Is that where the
Yeah.
delegation
So
for you happens?
yeah. Yeah, so with graphic design, we actually have a team of a number of designers with different specialities. So some are more creative for clients that want just creative work. Others are very good with simplistic work if they want simplistic logos or design. So especially with that, we've got a range, because I think you need it. If you've got one person, they can't do everything, and you do get clients with different needs as well with their business. With photography and videography, yeah, definitely we use. We've worked with a few, and we've got a few, but there are two, one of each that are really, really good in that space. And with video, we've
Mm-hmm.
also got, there's the likes of Jenny DeLacy, where if people want to learn video themselves, then I'll send them straight to her because she's just awesome
Yeah,
with it. So
yeah,
it's really
yeah.
connecting with those people and then being able to refer as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's great, and I certainly agree with regards to Jenny. And I know that Bonetta asked earlier if you were Melbourne-based, and I know that you are, so I'll answer that question on your behalf. And Nessa is asking how we can build better connections online, and Bonetta's also asking, what about YouTube? Is that something that you either encourage, or is it a case of it's YouTube is similar to the other social media platforms with what you were saying before? It's up to it depends on our target market, and perhaps also, as I said before myself, is it something that we relate to and want to engage on ourselves?
Yeah. So with building a presence online, it's really important to set up the proper strategy first to make sure that you know who you're aiming for, and then you can, so essentially when you've got your target audience set out and you know what your mission is and you know what your purpose is, it's really easy to find content that you then promote on a consistent basis. When you don't have
Mm,
that, and when business owners don't have it, I find that they find it hard to find content because they're just trying to pick out different bits that they think may be relevant, but they're not really sure. So nothing's coming through as congruent. So people aren't remembering them for something. They just sort of might look at it and go, oh yeah, it doesn't create the same level of connection. So building the presence, I think having the underlying strategy is really critical. The other thing is knowing which platforms and using them. For instance, like Snapchat is mostly young people. My target's business
mm,
owners, so it's a waste of time for me. Twitter was a waste of time for me as well. My
mm,
main networks and connections come from Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram as well, but more LinkedIn and Facebook. They're the two that, for me, with my business
mm,
owner target audience, are the best. YouTube is good as well, depending on what your business is and what the message is and how you can use it. So I use YouTube is for basic videos, but Vimeo is what I use now for videos that just I want my clients or my network to have access to. So it really depends on
okay.
what you plan to do with it, and how. The only thing with video that I would say is not too long, because depending on your target and depending how much info you've got, sometimes too long can just be too much.
Mm.
So it's making sure the length is right.
Yeah, yeah, I am certainly guilty of that. It's something I'm aware of. So, thank you. Yeah, is there an ideal length of a video? Having said that.
It depends. Like if it's an interview or it's informative, then you can get away with sort of longer time frames, like half an hour,
Mm.
or a bit longer. If it's just a quick tip, then I find 1 to 2 minutes, no more than 1 to 2 minutes. Like if
Mm.
it's on your business page, quick tip, they're the ones that generally get the best traction. The shorter
Oh,
but
wow.
also informative, the better. But it
Okay.
really, like, depending on your target, like my target is business owners. So I actually find for my target no more than 15 minutes because they're busy. They don't want, even if they love what you're doing, they still don't have a lot of time. I understand that. So I try and keep mine really short as much as I can.
Mm. Hmm.
And then the full train will be a bit longer. But yeah, it really is
Yep.
knowing what, and it depends how much you've got to talk about. Like if you can, I suppose one of the most important things with video is if you can add value properly and they're really going to like it, then go with the length that will suit that. But if you're just sort of rambling on and trying to fill space for the time, for the sake of it
Mm.
and time, and just sort of hanging on or having a lot of conversation that's not really relevant, they're probably only going to last so long listening to it.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. And of course, we get bombarded by so much on a daily basis, don't we, from social
Yeah,
media. I mean, amongst other things, but thinking specifically of social media. So if the videos, yeah, I get your point about the videos, and having them crisp and not just, as you said, waffling. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
yeah,
That's really great. Um, Now, Francis has actually mentioned, going back just a little bit, when you
yeah.
mentioned working with somebody about their vision and their mission and developing their strategy from that, I agree. That's, I think, just so critical because I think it actually makes the message clearer as well. So what Frances has said is she's working on that now. So
Yep.
she now understands about not being sure about content. So I gather, Frances, what you're meaning with that is that now you've got your mission and vision sorted. It then sort of almost what's the word, cascades down to the content that you can be sharing. Is that what you're meaning, Francis? And is that how you see it, Alana?
Yeah, I think it is. And the other thing that is important as well is we're always generating feedback, so from our clients and prospects as well. So that can help you with content as well to find out what they're happy with, what they're not happy with, what they would like to see more of, or what you can improve on. So once the mission and the vision's in place and you've got your strategy up and running, feedback's really important component of it.
Mm. Yeah, very, very true. Oh, okay. Sorry, Frances is saying that she's still getting clear about it, not quite there yet. It's a process. Do you agree,
Yeah,
Alana, that it
it
can
is.
take a little bit of
Yeah.
time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
it's worth taking a bit of time to get it right as well. Like you don't want to just make it up for the sake of it because if you're not congruent with it, you're not likely to really live it and implement it properly anyway. So definitely
Mm.
making sure it's done properly is the most important thing.
Yeah, oh, thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Yes, I definitely agree. I've I started off with my businesses with sort of down one path, and actually it's taken time for the vision and mission
Yeah,
to actually evolve in a way. And look, maybe in hindsight, it took more time than it should have, but I feel so much better on the other side now with that clarity. So and I mean, in terms of productivity, having a vision and a mission are really important parts. I might choose different words to describe them, but in essence, it's I'm sure what you're referring to, and it helps really
yeah,
just guide us. Obviously in all areas of our business, but of course certainly with our getting our message across, and what is it that we feel that our target audience can most be benefited by hearing from us.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is really thinking about them and what they would be interested in and what they're likely to need the most. They've
Mm.
all got problems that they're looking for. That's why they're looking for you. So it's really drilling down on what they are and then working out
Mm.
how you can add value. If you can add value, if you're in alignment, because we don't take anyone. So we work, if we think that they need other assistance, then we'll refer them on to whoever's best in that area.
Oh, that's great. And Frances is saying she's got to go, but thank you so much for the clarity. So
Hi,
that obviously helped her, which
no
is
worries.
awesome. So, yeah, I've just got a couple of minutes left, if that's okay with you, because we're a little bit
Yep.
later in
Cool.
starting.
Yeah,
Um, I just wanted to bring it back. You mentioned about the authenticity, and when you're talking about a vision and a mission, I'm getting the sense that you're fairly values based, as in you have some quite clear values, and if I'm correct. And that then leads me to ask then about perhaps is there a place for your spirituality? Because of course, you know, this Facebook group is
yep,
has a foundation, I suppose, of people who have some degree of spirituality, whatever that means for them, and of course creativity.
yep,
And so I just wanted to ask you a little bit about how both of those might interplay. And it's not that you have to have that as the main focus of your business, but
yeah.
do you weave in elements of those?
Yeah, intuition's a big one for me. So I'm a very
Ah,
intuitive person. So like actually recently there was a person that wanted us to build a website and intuitively I don't know, there was something that I didn't like about it. And it ended up turning out that the name she gave me of the directors of the company she wanted this website built, so she claimed that she was the BDM for them. They didn't exist at all. So
oh,
it ended up being very dodgy. So I think you need to always trust
oh
your gut as a
no.
business owner, as well because
Yeah.
it does guide you really well.
Wow, I've got goosebumps when you said that, and I completely agree. I think entrepreneurship is actually a great opportunity for us to develop our intuition more. If you know, if we feel that we need to. I've certainly developed it a lot more, and I agree. It's a key. I don't call it a skill; it's a gift, and it's something that we can actually develop more. And that's a great example of of you listening to it. So is there? Are you more aware of it? Is it something that has just grown on its own, or is it something that you've particularly focused on?
Yeah, it is. With the business, it's grown a lot, definitely. Um, yeah, no, there is. And I think the more you trust yourself and you make decisions, the more it will grow. You sort of, yeah, you have to really trust yourself and just sort of go for it in a way, and then it just develops as you progress.
I love that. I so agree. I think there needs to be some action and or some commitment, whatever that might be, and the
Yeah.
universe will show us the next step. And I so agree. I think
And also for women,
it's
I think a key part of it is not being too hard on themselves. I think it's easy as a woman in business to be hard on yourself or focus on kind of what you could be doing better all the time to the point where you're not focusing on what you're doing well all the time. And so it's really learning as well that if you're giving it a go, you're 10 steps ahead of a lot of people. So just keep going with it and keep rocking with it, and you will get there.
uh, Yes, I so agree. Bonetta's saying she's got to go, and I know she asked a question about
Yeah,
payment plans, so
sure.
I'll ask you that in just a second.
Yep,
But I
yep.
definitely agree. I think intuition is undervalued a lot, and I think it's so important. We've got to have the practical stuff and the facts and the metrics when we're in business to measure things. But I certainly believe just as strongly in the more, inverted commas, intangible, things like intuition for sure. So thank you. It's great to hear that you use that in your business.
Yeah.
And also just and thank you, Vicky. Lovely to see you, darling. Sorry, I'm just scrolling to where Nessa has asked a
Yeah.
question. What gives you your motivation and drive? Are there times you have none? And what do you do to kick it back in if that's happened?
Um, probably, yeah. I think everyone has challenges. There's no real time that I've wanted to kick it in, but there are times where you think, oh my God, probably sleep deprivation with a 7 week old sometimes is can be a little bit of a challenge, but he's pretty good, so I'm pretty lucky. But I think for me, the one thing that's helped a lot with that is having my overall mission, and I have it up in my house in multiple spots. So anytime that I might be frustrated or whatever, I just look at the mission and look at why I'm here, what value I'm at, why I want to impact have an impact with people and what I can help them with, and that helps me to keep going. So I think it's thinking about the actual value that I can add and why I want to, and also obviously having children, that they're obviously my driving force, because when you've got children, you can't just sit there and give up. You have to keep going, you have to push further, and you've got to show them that you can just go for it and do everything you can. So for me, they're a massive motivator as well.
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. So it sounds like it's a mission that's actually made up of obviously your business focus, but of course just as much your family focus as well. Would that be right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. And
Yeah,
together,
and the
you
connection side as well. So building the relationship with clients, that's why we like to work on them with their strategy and get to know them and work on them with their business, because you start developing that relationship with them as well. So they get to know you, so you know you're there for them. So that just automatically, when they need help, you're there because you know they need it. So I think that side of it can help as well, the connection.
oh,
Well, for
that's
me, it does. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yes, Nessa saying great replies. So thank you. I completely agree, Nessa. It's having that big why, isn't it? And again, that's your values, your business
Yeah.
contribution, the value you give with that, and then the value with your family as well. And then these other connections you were just saying. That's great. Thank you. That's really helpful. So just in the last minute or two, now Benetta was asking about whether you had payment plans. I think first of all, I want to ask what services, I know we've talked about your business, but specifically what services do you offer, and or is there something that you would like to offer us that you have currently available that would help us?
Yep. Yeah, so we do social media management, like maintenance, and
Mm-hmm.
also setups. We can help with either of those. We do web design and SEO. So either website setup, or if people have a website they're not sure of, they can come to us and we can give them an audit and let them know roughly how it's tracking and how it looks and what they can do to improve. We can do the same with social media. If people want a social media audit, they can come to us and we can help them with that as well. For business owners that run their own social, we do have a portal that we've developed where we put all of the articles in there that we think are the most relevant, because there are a lot of sites to stay across. That's the only thing with social. It can be really time consuming to stay across all of the latest content. So we've developed that as well for business owners who just want to be able to jump in, and it's organized in categories. So it's organized in social media strategy, web design, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So if they want to just know about Facebook, they can go there and see all the latest Facebook articles and what they can implement with that. And it's also got videos and training in there too. So there's different levels that we can help with. At the moment, we're offering 10 free social media strategy sessions for the first 10 people that get in touch with us. So that will just be 15 minutes to 20 minutes where we'll go through where you're at, what platforms are you using, and we can give you some tips on how to improve. So that's probably our most recent offer. And I've got an event coming up as well in July in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, which is actually a social media strategy session. So people can come along and we're going to go through target audience and setting the right objectives and making sure you're using the right platform and how to write content. Yeah, and you
Oh,
can
that
get in touch
sounds
either. We've got a Facebook group, Digital Marketing Hacks for SMEs, or through our business page, Exposure, or our website, which is also Exposure,
Oh,
or
that's
message me.
great. Yes.
Anyway, whatever
Oh,
suits.
that's good. There's Yeah, lots of ways of connecting with you. And
Yeah,
I know that I put the name of your business in the event description for the event I created in our Facebook group. Because it's got unusual spelling, which is so catchy. I love it.
yeah,
Thank you so much. So there's the 10 free social media strategy
yeah,
sessions. There's ongoing work that you
yeah.
can do to serve people like us in business. And then there's also, is it a workshop that's coming up in the northern suburbs, did you say?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. I'll put the
Yeah.
details. We'll put the details below afterwards. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is. So it is. We'll have a workbook, and it's going to be interactive. So, in terms
Mm.
of like, I don't expect business owners to share too much in depth. I know, because you don't want to in front of other people sometimes. But there will be the opportunity for questions, And also, I will be going through the industries and the main problems, because it's funny when you get a group together, often the same problems appear no matter what industry,
Mm.
and they're having the same issues. So it'll be helping each other work on that in it too.
Oh, that sounds great. Ness is asking if we can put all the details of what you've just said
Yeah, sure. Yep,
under the video, and so people who
yep,
are wanting to find out more and wanting to get in contact with you can do that. And it sounds
yep.
like perhaps for the ongoing work, do you have payment plans? Is there
Yeah, we
as I said,
can.
Bonetta was asking
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Uh-huh,
yeah. If we
uh-huh.
see someone needs help, we're not going to turn them away. For yeah, we'll help as best we can.
Oh, that's great. And also, Nessa's based in Queensland. She was asking, do you record your meetings, your workshops, or do you work with people interstate? I suppose it's a question.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do work with people interstate. So what we'll do is, with coaching, we'll work one-on-one. If they want an access of a training, I don't record the whole thing unless all participants are comfortable with it, and not all always
Mm,
are. But if they
hmm.
aren't, and for example, if Vanessa, if you wanted help or you wanted the content, I can always do a recording for you and send it to you, and let you know what themes came up and give you an overview. That's always possible as well.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, wow. Excellent. So location is not an issue because of course we have some international members of the group as well. So does that mean you'd
Yeah, no, that's
actually
fine.
even Oh, awesome. That is so good. And
Yeah, we've
thank you
had
for those not
clients in
hard speaking.
Ireland. Um, we've
Oh,
had clients in the US. We've done calls at like 1 in the morning at times. So yeah, there's really no limits.
oh, wow, you're incredible. And as I said
Yeah.
at the start, to have three little ones, an 8-week-old baby, and to have this much energy and passion amongst all of that is absolutely amazing. I want to say, well done you. You're a great role
Thank
model,
you.
Alana. I'm really, really, my hat off to you. That's really great. It's really pleasing to see. So I can see how much that you love your business, which is just wonderful because that's what attracts me, certainly speaking for myself, when I can see that passion in somebody that I might want to be working with. No way, she's too young, says Nessa. Yeah, you wouldn't believe
Yeah.
it. You've got no wrinkles or anything as yet. So no,
Uh,
that's great. That's really wonderful. Well, look, we better wrap it up there because of course we've gone
yeah,
way over
definitely.
time. But that was so
Yes.
interesting, and thank you so much for sharing. I think
No,
that
great.
we
Great
covered
to
quite
chat.
a whole lot of things. Yeah, and perhaps if people did have any more questions, obviously
Yeah,
you're going
put
to
them all.
post the links as we said, but also in the comments section, and then if you didn't mind answering those. So 3 babies, wow, yeah, yeah. Because your oldest one has started school. Is that right? She started school.
Yeah, yeah, she's turning 6 tomorrow, which will be it's a bit
Oh,
scary, but it's exciting at the same
oh,
time.
that's yeah, yeah, 6. Oh, wish her a happy birthday
Thank
from us all.
you.
That's wonderful. And Nessa's just said awesome interview. So thank you, Nessa, and thank you so much, Alana. We'll let it go, and love to
Yeah,
see your links posted and engage with you more as we go forward as well. So thank you so much
yeah,
for your time,
no
and thanks
worries.
everybody for your comments and your energy. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye
Bye.
bye.